Good afternoon. I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. It's Wednesday, September 23rd. That's what happens when you work every day, folks. They all blend in together. But it's Wednesday, September 23rd, and it's time for another edition of my free pick segment here on the OSGA YouTube channel, which, by the way, folks, if you haven't subscribed already, and a lot of you have, I appreciate it. For those of you who have been tuning in regularly or maybe even a first time, if you hit that subscribe button simply by hovering over the OSGA icon here in the bottom right-hand corner of your video screen, and you'll see a subscribe button come up. Hit that subscribe button and even hit notifications, that notification button, and that will alert you right away with any of my sports betting videos going up on this channel. That's the OSTA YouTube channel. And don't forget, folks, give me a like at the end of these videos. Put a lot of hard work into this. I'm trying to make you happy. Last night, I gave you a nice winner on the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. The game will go under 9. Easy winners. The final was 5-0. So I'm trying to make you happy, and I'm sure you'll have no trouble making me happy. So give me a like. So before we get to today's pick, which will come in the NL Central matchup between the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates, a game that will be played at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, 7:05 Eastern Time start, I want to give you one college football tip. It may turn into a couple, but the topic is the same. And it relates to the fact that too many times us as individuals who like to bet on sports, and I did this, and I was guilty of this in my early stages before I really started to take things seriously about 20 years ago, and I haven't been guilty since. But a lot of people are guilty, and I know a lot of people frown upon the fact when I give them a game that's not a Power 5 conference matchup in college football, and it involves teams like from the Sun Belt or Conference USA, for example, the American Athletic Conference even. And that game can't be viewed on national TV. And, generally the public loves to bet on games that they can watch. And I understand why. There's an allure there. It's like, do you play blackjack at a casino and you do it virtually? No, you want to be there, So at the end of the day, bookmakers are vulnerable in that area as well, in my opinion. And let me explain, because I've been professing for years now on these videos and to my clients that if you think you're going to be one step ahead of a bookmaker when they set a line, you're sadly mistaken. You have to think like a bookmaker, and you have to respect a bookmaker. Now, having said that, let's take this one step further. Bookmakers are also very human, just like us. And the human element comes into play at times, okay? So on a college football Saturday where we have a pretty large slate of games, they know the majority of their action is not only going to come between teams from power conferences playing one another, but teams that are in the national spotlight, top-ranked teams, top 25 teams, and also nationally televised games. And it's not like they disregard the smaller conference games, but there isn't that attention level paid upon those games compared to the ones I just described in the Power 5 conference schools and the nationally televised games. Now, on occasion, a sharp player like myself may come in with a large bet on a small conference game, and that may send an alert up. And it may not, because if they're not familiar with who I am or who a sharp player is at a specific sports book, they might just brush it aside, make a slight line adjustment, and not worry about it, and worry more on what they're going to get in terms of volume of action. My point being is, don't be guilty of only concentrating on nationally televised games between big schools, nationally televised games between ranked opponents, because there's plenty of value to be found elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying to disregard those big games, because there might be a lot of value on a nationally televised game. might be a lot of value on a home underdog playing another Power Five conference school. But my point being is don't shrink the card, okay? Because the more options you have, the bigger probability you have of winning and the more potential you have to find betting value. So that's my tip of the day when it comes to college football. Since this Saturday, we're going to see a full slate of SEC games for the first time all year. And the Big Ten is set to resume action in a couple weeks. So, again, we're getting into that situation. As of right now, the Pac-12 is the only Power 5 conference that really hasn't decided on whether they want to continue their season or stay shut down. So just keep that in mind going forward. Like I said, it doesn't mean you should eliminate those nationally televised games, but keep in mind sometimes you could find better value on the smaller conferences as well. Okay, let's get to our pick for today. The Chicago Cubs at the Pittsburgh Pirates, 7:05 Eastern time. It will be Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, while Trevor Williams, the struggling right-hander for the Pittsburgh Pirates, is scheduled to make the start. Now, Kyle Hendricks, I've said on a couple times over the course of these videos over the last 2 years, he's been terrific at Wrigley Field. And this year is no different. However, when he goes on the road, he's not as dominant a pitcher. He's not a terrible pitcher. I mean, if you look at his 5 road starts this year, he has a 4.50 ERA. Not great, but there's a lot of starting pitchers at the bottom of rotations of some bad teams that wish they had a starting pitcher that had a 4.50 ERA. And having said that, 4 of those 5 starts have gone over the total, meaning Hendricks road starts. Now, Trevor Williams has had a terrible year. He's made 10 starts this year. 7 of those 10 games have gone over the total. And his 6.78 ERA through the course of those 10 starts was a major contributing factor to why those games were high scoring. Also, over the last 3 starts for Trevor Williams, he's got a 9.39 ERA and a massive 183 whip. This line total, I should say, opened at 8. It's moved up to 8.5 in my estimation for good reason. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs in the Pittsburgh Pirates game over 8.5 for your Major League Baseball free pick on Wednesday, September 23rd. Repeating again, the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates over 8.5 as your free selection for Wednesday, September 23rd. Just a friendly reminder, folks. My website, rbwins.com, is where you could buy my top selections. And speaking of which, since the opening Monday night NFL schedule, which showed a doubleheader at that time, from that point on in the NFL, I've gone 7-2, okay, against the spread. And then I also am coming off a 3-0 sweep this past Saturday in college football. So a combined 10-2 over the little over a week now with my football picks combined, college football and the NFL. It's rbwins.com, folks. You get my personal guarantee on my subscription plans. You can buy daily packages, and if you're somebody who likes to dabble in once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to put yourself on the best side possible, best total possible. I offer that Monday through Sunday. So for the most part, there's a pickup, at least one pickup every day. On occasion, I pass, but not very often. Okay. So having said that, I can't guarantee those selections. Okay. It's a one day. If you want to judge somebody on one day, you're making a big mistake. But what I will guarantee is if you make that initial investment with me on either a 7-day for $149 or a 30-day for $499, that's subscriptions. You'll get everything that I release on a daily basis in all sports. And my personal commitment to you is this. It's not, you're not going to get refunded any money, but if I'm not making a profit at the end of each of those subscriptions, I will extend your subscription until you do. To me, you're making a long-term commitment to me. I'm making a long-term commitment to you. It also should show you my confidence level on how I believe I will win for you over the long haul. Now, all I need for you to do is make that initial investment. And even for those of you who renew, I made money during the course of your subscription. You renew, I'll give you the same guarantee after you renew. At the end of that particular subscription, your most recent purchase, I will guarantee that if you're not making a profit at the end of those subscriptions, I will extend your subscription until you do. That's rbwins.com. I'm Ross Benjamin, and I hope you have a great day. Good luck with all your picks. God bless, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.